Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Friday night hangout. Today we're gonna drink some beers from Bear Republic. So we're celebrating Bear Republic beers, and as always, I have a group of friends with me, willing to disagree with me and drink beer at least. Um, but tonight we have Randy Gardner Jr., Freddie Rodriguez, Linda Dean, Lola, Laracy, and Ricky Potts joining us tonight. And how are you all doing tonight?
Excellent.
Good.
Good. Man, I have to say I'm on style tonight, but I'm very sad that Bear Republic is not widely distributed in PA anymore. So it's hard for me to get a beer from them. Uh, but I do enjoy. I like their beers. I think they have great beers. Uh, so do you all familiar with Bear Republic? Have you all had beer from Bear Republic?
I've only had like
Absolutely not.
1 or 2 beers from them.
Okay.
Yeah, they were widely, everything was widely available here, and about 3 or 4 months ago, it came out and said, hey, they're done distributing to Arizona, and they're gone from everywhere.
Oh.
I need to figure out why, because I had heard that it was because they had water issues, and then I had heard that it was because they just didn't have enough beer, they couldn't keep up with production, so it's interesting that like they would pull out completely from a state to do that, though, but it's interesting to hear that it's still getting the other side of the country, but yet it skips right over Arizona.
Yeah.
So
Well, we'll discuss all that and talk about things and wondering and lie about their beers or say a good thing about their beers. But if you're watching tonight and you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, do it. All our shows are there, and we have our show every Thursday, also, Pints and Quarts, and we had the great folks from St. Arnold Brewing yesterday. So it was an awesome show. We had a lot of fun. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, or listen to our shows at iTunes or Stitchers. So we're gonna start this party. Since you were, whoa, I got death now. Somebody whistle at me. But so who's in style? Randy, why don't we start with you since
So
you're Jamaican today?
I am. I'm representing.
Original Rastafari.
It's a
I'm
sad day.
representing-
My soccer team didn't win the national championship today in Brazil, so it's anything goes.
I'm representing those who got off the boat right before my people. Um, this is this is the Bear Republic's Hop Rod Rye. It's their specialty ale, which I'm assuming means rye ale. It's brewed with 18% rye, totally unfiltered beer. It's so yeah. It's
Oh yeah? Tell me
Oh
more.
yeah.
I mean it's a lot. It's a lot of rye characteristics. I'm not a big fan of rye. I probably should have picked up another one of another one.
I was
of
about
their
to
beers.
ask you. Yeah, I was about to ask how'd you choose that one because
I don't know.
often it comes out that you're not a big fan of rye, which
yeah,
is okay. I don't think everybody has to have
I mean,
like every kind of beer.
I'm not a fan of rye, but I'm not shutting myself off to the style. You know what I'm saying? I still give it a go every once in a while. Because your palate changes, and the last thing I want to do is, definitely cut myself off from this particular style. But I'm not gonna do that. Nonetheless, I mean, if I like to imagine that if I were a fan of rye beer, then I'd probably really love this beer. But I mean, it's a good beer. It's a well-made beer, and yeah, if you like rye, pick it up. It's 8%. And I've only seen it in bombers. Maybe it's in six
Yeah,
six pack.
I
I don't know.
got a 6-pack. Yeah, I have
Oh,
I have
okay.
the same beer. Comes in a 6-pack. Yeah.
But it has like a the aroma is like it's sweet. It's a sweet aroma. It's a rye beer, but I was about to say it's malt forward. Rye is a part of the malt, though. It's definitely. But it is. It's not just rye forward. I think it's malt forward with the rye standing out a little more than anything else. Definitely. I mean, the hops are there, but this beer is all about the grain bill, and I mean it's a good beer. I can't say it's a bad beer. It's a well-made beer. Apparently these guys know how to they know how to brew or whatever. And if you like rye, I think you should definitely try Bear Republic's Hop Rod Rye. That was my imitation of my man from Beer Geek Nation. He's like,
yeah. Well, do you know this? This is actually an IPA, right? That's the style of this beer. Yeah, it's a rye IPA. Yeah.
Oh, they just say rye specialty ale. I didn't know.
Yeah, the style's like
Yeah, it's I think it's one of their big beers. I see it in a lot, and I agree with you. It is on a sweeter side of it. I still find it hop forward, but it reminds me, although it's an IPA, it reminds me a lot. A lot of brewers do Imperial Reds nowadays. A red ale with very hop forward.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me that style more than would an IPA.
Wait, you think this is hop forward?
A little bit it's not an IPA hoppy, but it's
right.
It's more I think it's a good balance between malt and hop, and I think the sweetness is what deteriorated for me. I wish it was not as sweet.
Yeah. And Gil, I'm gonna say this. Bear Republic they don't seem to date their
hard pour.
They don't date their bottles, so I have no idea how old this is. This thing could have been there since July. I don't know.
They do on mine because it's PA. I think ask you to do it. I'm not sure, but it's printed on the side. It's hard to see there. I don't know if maybe you have that on yours as well.
No.
And mine, I just realized now. I didn't look at this when I bought it, but it is from July. Mine is July 2nd.
That's funny.
It actually says here, best by July 7th.
Wow.
I'm gonna take this bottle back to my bottle shop, and we're gonna talk tomorrow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a Best By date, so there's nothing that they can tell me to make this better.
They were like, well, it was still good. It just wasn't best.
Yeah, right. So I wonder if that's a mellow down and got sweeter because of that. Although we're a little picky as well, but if it says if it says Best By July 2nd, this probably was brewed about 4 or 5 months before that.
I mean,
right?
you say that we're picky, right? But I mean, this is
we're
what we
paying
do.
For it, right?
We're beer nerds, right? I mean, we don't just drink the beer to drink the beer. We drink the beer to dissect it and enjoy it and try to, it's fun for us to try to identify different aspects of the beer. I mean, so that's what we do.
And I'm gonna have to drink a fresh one because I remember to love this beer. I mean, I still like it, but I remember to love it. And it might be that it's just.
We had it before the Best By date.
And I think I have good memory of this beer because I was at Disney with my family. We go to this Disney restaurant hotel, and I open like I'm already gave up on looking for beers, and I open and there's Bear Republic on their menu. So. Needless to say, I drank this several times that week, but I think it's a good beer. It's just a little too sweet for me.
That's funny.
All right, Freddie, you're up. Do the Bear Republic distribute in your necks of the world?
Do. The weird thing about they say they were supposed to pull out of Massachusetts. Like the last day in December 2014, as far as like the last orders, will be carried out fulfilled. But again, I went to the bottle shop today to see because I'm pretty sure I saw some bombers of theirs. So I know I thought I saw the stout before, and one of their IPAs, which one it is, I think maybe Racer 5 and a bomber as well or something, or their double IPA, maybe. Nonetheless, so I didn't see that, but they had the Racer 5 12-pack.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for dates because that's the first thing I'm wondering. How fresh are these anyway? But I'll be honest, I wasn't about to buy a 12-pack of Razor 5 Bear Republic.
And you probably could have
So,
found a 2014 Hop Rod Rye.
Not even.
Yeah, I think this is it's and it's hard sometimes when I see people reviewing beers that they have no date behind it. It's very mainly the distribution on the East Coast that we don't know how old. So it's sometimes the brewery released it and it was awesome, but then people selling it didn't care for it. Just sat on the shelves.
So I'm drinking Drogue's Blizzard of Hops.
That sounds like an IPA.
Yep. It's a winter IPA.
Winter IPA.
Yeah, it's a winter IPA, but I'm assuming just because of the season they would kind of release it, towards, because nothing about it says winter really. Slight dryness. You get that pine needle, little light citrus, very light fizzly body to it. Very easy drinking. I do like how it finishes dry on the palate, but I don't really get the Blizzard part or why. I'm okay, fine. The Blizzard of Hops because it has Centennial, Chinook, Eldorado, Galaxy. But as far as a winter IPA, not really sure why it's called that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong of drinking IPA in the winter. It's just that
Yeah, I know that's okay, but
it's not quite a style for the winter if you go by style.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's something to do with the maybe the hop season growing or what. I don't know, but
How many hops are in it? How many different hops?
I think it's Centennial, Chinook, Galaxy, and Eldorado. So 4, I guess.
So, I mean, they probably called it that because if I had to guess, I mean, it's like those are very different hops.
Yeah,
So
I think
it's like
it's dry hopped with Chinook and Galaxy, and then
I would have never thought to put those two hops together for a dry hop.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Let me go look up the profile for Chinook hops.
Actually, let me look at the thing. I think I have it up. But nonetheless, yeah, I mean, it's a good beer. It's not like, it's definitely like if you see this somewhere, you can have it, restaurant. Again, very light.
I can tell at least your beer is fresh because that's their no label. They redid all the labels on their beers.
Let me see it again, Freddie.
Yep, no worries.
I think their new labels actually look pretty nice. Some of the labels look very sharp.
It almost
So
looks
Freddie, here's the reason.
like.
Hey, so my best buy day or freshest buy is February 29th, 2016.
Oh, that's fresh right there.
So I'm ahead of schedule.
So Freddie, the thing about the hops, Chinook is, according to Hop Union, distinct medium intensity spice and pine characteristics with subtle notes of grapefruit, and Galaxy is like straight up mango, pineapple, papaya. Well, maybe not papaya, but like mango, pineapple type hop. And so I would never waste the beauty of a Galaxy hop and pair it with Chinook to kind of overpower all those good things that the Galaxy hop has to offer.
Yeah, me even. That's something like I love Galaxy too, man. Galaxy.
Yeah.
So actually, they have a little thing I just saw on the label. It says, "We created this winter IPA to toast hop growers around the world for another successful harvest."
I think they have they do one beer every season, and I think that's the number 4 beer on what they call the hop cycle. So they do 4 hoppy beers.
So maybe that's why, yeah. But nonetheless, good beer, solid. You drinking, works.
Awesome. Linda, do you guys get Bear Republic in Oregon?
It was weird. For about 3 weeks, I didn't see any Bear Republic, and then I saw one single bottle of this, which I snatched it up, and then the very next week after that, I saw all kinds of Bear Republic come back. So I don't know. There was a 3-week period of time where they just didn't get anything at Market of Choice, and then all of a sudden, like a flood came in.
I felt the same way. I felt that every time I go to my bottle shop, there's always Bear Republic, and all of a sudden they disappeared from the shelves.
I'm not sure if it's a distribution problem or an availability problem, or maybe they had a couple of bad batches.
Well, Ricky said they had water issues, right?
Yeah, about 3 or 4 months ago, I maybe even 6 months ago, I was at a Total Wine and I was like, "Where's all the Bear Republic?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, they're not here anymore. They had water issues." And I never looked into it past that, but he made it sound like they're done for a while in certain markets.
On their website, when they had a posting about Massachusetts, we're actually looking at it right now. That's exactly what they say. They said they pulled out of 19 territories due to the water constraints in California.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Oh, okay.
California is has been in a drought all year.
Yeah,
And
and they're in San Diego, right?
There's
I don't think
So
so.
maybe you know what it is though. It says it's not permanent too, because then it says
Oh,
don't
no.
worry, we will return to Massachusetts eventually. So maybe that's why. Maybe
They're in Healdsburg, Cloverdale. I
Yeah,
have
just
no idea
doing what they
that
can
is.
to conserve water. A lot of golf courses are doing that, where if they've got 36 holes, maybe they only water 18 for a month or two just to conserve water. I mean,
well,
So back
I
to
know they're
Linda.
coming back now.
So Linda, I'm not gonna tell what I think about this beer, but I have a very strong opinion about that beer. But I want to hear what you
Well,
think about it.
it's definitely dark. I love the color of the beer, and it had a really thick, dark tan head. And I'm not getting an enormous amount of aroma off it, but the taste is fantastic. It's really strongly roasty, and the hops comes in right at the end of the sip and then just continues on for a little while. So it's actually a really nice stout. One exception, it's too thin. Way too thin. I think it's way too thin for a stout. And I have no idea when this was bottled. There's no date on it.
Linda, I can just looking at the beer in your glass. It is watery. Like there's no
It's-
cling on that bad boy.
None at all. It's
Nothing. Super light.
nothing. The taste is nice. The hops are nice, but it's really too thin. I wouldn't get it again. Not unless there
Bummer.
wasn't anything else.
Yeah. Do you have a Best Buy date on that too?
No, I have no date on this bottle at all. I
It
can't
probably has a-
imagine. I can't imagine it's very old because one, it was the only bottle there when I went to go look for it, and Market of Choice moves their stock, and that's where I got it from. So I can't imagine it was sitting there very long.
Yeah, and I think that that's one style that you don't have to worry about it as well. I'm an opinion. I love that beer. I think the taste profile of that beer is excellent, but it lost a lot of points with me because of lax body. And
Exactly.
it's such a good beer for such a thin body. It's sad.
What's the ABV?
8.1.
Yeah,
And
you definitely
they're-
expect more. You definitely expect more from
they're
that.
using Centennial and Cascade hops, which makes it a nice, it makes a happy ending. But
'Cause, the big thing about that beer is that I don't know if you try it again, see if you can get. They use Centennial and Centennial and Cascade, which were very popular. I don't remember like a couple years ago, everything was brewed with Centennial and Cascade. It was the big
Yeah.
thing. Then Amarillo came up, and that's the big thing about that stout. It's a stout of some of that piney taste, and yeah, and I wish there was more body in there too.
I like the boldness. I really wish it was thicker. I like the boldness and the roastiness.
And the funny thing is how I know it's not a big deal. We should not get so attached to name. If they had called that a porter, I wouldn't have mind as much for some reason. Because I wouldn't expect.
I don't think it would qualify as a porter.
Why not?
It's a very weak stout.
So Linda, in your opinion, what the can I buy a vowel? What what do you think is the difference between a porter and a stout?
Yeah.
the creaminess unless you've got it on nitro.
So you don't think so? Even though that beer lacks all the body needed for it to be a good stout, you still don't think it would qualify for to be a porter?
I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
But the thing is, the porter and stout, a stout is a porter, right? A stout is just it's a strong body, creamy porter.
The creaminess is still there.
In simple terms, porters normally tend to be less ABV, and this beer it is, and I think that's why they're calling stout, because it's with 4 has high ABV. But
but the creaminess is still there. It's far creamier than a porter is. It just doesn't have the thick texture to it that a stout is supposed to have.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I find I drink very creamy porters and I enjoy it. It's just that I expect when I buy a porter, I expect it not to have that heavy, thick body. So I know what I'm getting for. It's hard for me when I look at a stout and then it's such a thin body and I just go, okay, yeah, it's just expectation, I think, more than anything. Yeah.
Very true.
And I think is the ABV is what's drawing the line there between being a porter and a stout.
I wouldn't recommend this to somebody who's trying to get into stouts because it's just a poor classification.
Awesome. Yeah.
Sets the wrong expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah. So Lola, what are you drinking?
I have got, and the funny thing is, the red rye is my favorite. Sorry, cat. The one y'all have is my favorite, and usually my ABC has a few of them. In fact, that's the only place that really has them. But I went in today, and all they had was the Racer 5, which is good. I still like it.
I think that's their flagship beer, yeah.
Yeah, so it's
I don't want to interrupt, but I'm going to interrupt you. At that chair in that bar in the back, you're lacking a cigar. You would be just complete.
I've got my paper. I've got. Hold on.
Now you look like you're in a hookah bar.
That works for me.
A hookah bar, Gil.
It's called hookah bar, and that's why I don't know. I've been to the
Okay, this episode is turning bad.
It's called hookah bar. You guys, that's the right pronunciation. I've been there, so I know. So what you think about your beer?
I like it. It's a good IPA. It's a little darker than most IPAs. I don't know if it has malt in it or what.
That's a good color for an IPA. That's a nice caramel tone, yeah.
It's good. I like it. It's not too heavy. Some IPAs are too strong for me, but this is not too strong. It's 7% ABV. I couldn't find a sell or Best Buy date, but it tastes pretty good to me. Not much of a head. I mean, I've been drinking it for a few minutes, but it's got some lacing. It's got pretty good body. I mean, what you would expect from an IPA. So all in all, it's good.
Wow, man, I don't feel everybody very excited about Bear Republic. Maybe Ricky will change.
I'm a big fan, but I don't have any. So.
Okay.
Yes.
What are you drinking today, Ricky?
There's a liquor store that they say beers for me from time to time, and they had a new Ballast Point release that was like $5 cheaper than everywhere else, but they have a limit on price to use a credit card, so I had to spend $5, and I was like $4.98 was my total, and I'm like, all right, so I bought a bottle of Eyinger. I've never even heard of this Brauweiss, and it smells absolutely horrible.
Oh dear.
And it tastes okay. It's an authentic Bavarian Hefeweiss.
I like the beer.
But it smells real bad. But it tastes pretty good. So
if you can get it up to your mouth and drink it, it's okay. Yes,
But it was only $3, and I hadn't had it before, so it counts as a tick. And
is that the Brauweiss that you have now? Which one do you have there again?
The Brauweiss.
The Brauweiss, yeah. See, I think as Hefeweiss goes, I like it. Sorry, go ahead, Linda.
So Ricky, you said you're a big fan of Bear Republic?
Yeah, I am, and I think that part of it's because of just their ability to make an unbelievable, consistent IPA, and they are so good with hops. Everything they do from start to finish with hops, like every one of their beers is a 3.5, 4 or higher. And like the stout you're drinking right now, yeah, I thought it was thin, but I don't get it and buy it as a stout to expect it always to be what we're talking about a stout should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at the flavor, and the style then is surpassed a little bit for me if the flavor's good. But I don't know a ton about the brewing company, but I know that they've got an obsession with racing, and a lot of the guys, if not all the guys that work there, are like into like racing cars and stuff, and just it feels like a small operation. Just what little I know about the brewing company, but everything I've had from them is good. Racer 5 might be like one of the, if not the best, just daily drinking IPAs on the market. Like it's
I would agree.
unbelievable how good it is, and for the price point and the ABV and the flavor, and as a certain someone in the group would say, they can brew.
They can.
Have any of y'all had a Racer X or a Racer 10? I don't know if that's Racer
I had
10
a
or.
Racer X.
Is it
I
good?
call it Racer X because I think I think they're talking about a speed racer.
Yeah.
So that I think that's the why they had the Racer X.
Isn't that the one that comes in the bomber?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Yeah, that's the one I had.
Yeah, it's a double. Yeah, I gave it 4 out of 5. Their most recent release that hit before they stopped coming here was the Mach 10, which was super hard to get. I don't even remember what that style was. Let me look. Yeah, it was a double IPA too. 9.2.
They definitely don't seem to push a lot of their beers to the East Coast. I mean, from what I come across. They're probably an amazing brewery in California.
Mm-hmm.
When you get access to this, when you can have fresh hop rod rye, and you know what I'm saying, and some of their other releases that I haven't even seen over here, i.e. Racer X, Racer 10, whatever. So they probably have a good portfolio for people on the West Coast, but I hear it's just kind of like, oh, okay, I'll drink this 6-month-old hop rod rye.
Well, yeah, so they got Racer 5, Hop Rod Rye, Red Rocket, Cafe Racer, Apex, Racer X, Grand Am, Black Racer, all IPAs or double IPAs. Like that's out of the first 10, and then the big Bear Black Stout, everything else is an IPA or double IPA.
Well, Ricky, because you think so highly of them, I will definitely give them another go. And
please do try. You're drinking one of the only that isn't an IPA.
Yeah, and again, that's what I said. I think that beer is amazing. I wish it has more body. There's beer that has no body, no flavor. I don't care for it. That's the kind of beer that I care for it. I just wish was,
Who can love you like me? Nobody.
Nobody.
You know that song?
I've heard it once or twice.
You got that on his iPhone.
So they're a top 50 brewery, so they probably brew more than 50,000. Yeah.
That's
so
but I guess that goes back to the whole thing, like I just said about they probably kill it in California and well, not just California, but on the West Coast period, west of the Rockies, should I say? They probably kill it, but not here.
He's looking at the woods.
Well, I'm looking here. They have their production is larger than Left Hand, larger than 21st Amendment, West Coast, St. Arno that we talked to yesterday, Green Flash. So they're bigger they produce more beer than Breckenridge. So I'm very surprised.
If you're selling all that beer locally, why bother getting it out there?
I don't think I think they pull for a reason. I don't think they don't want to be everywhere. I just I don't know. Maybe how we mail them tomorrow.
I'll tell you why personally I don't go to them more often. Because of the same reason Gil just had. Because I remember when they were more on the shelf at like a local bottle shop, and I would look at the dates on the bottle. I would always get them older here. You know what I mean? 2 months, 3 months, 4 months old, and I'm like,
Yeah, that's kind of a deal breaker for an IPA.
Exactly, yeah. So not that like a month is like already like for me that's that line. Like a month is like I try my best like a month and a half maybe, but. Like I've seen them, like guys, like, oh yeah, we just got them. Then the date's like, like I get them in August. The date's like in February. I'm like, I'm not gonna drink this. And that's the reason kind of.
So here I have a thing from Bear Republic. So Bear Republic actually made a decision to pull off of Massachusetts. They're not going to distribute in Massachusetts anymore, starting in November, and they are looking into some other states. So that's the reason is there's fourth consecutive year of drought. So the effect has been devastated for the economy and for the brewery where they are. So small manufacturers like Bear Republic is,
I wonder if some of these breweries aren't thinking of.
It would make
California,
sense.
You know, it'd be a hard move, but if you just don't have water, you can't brew beer.
Yeah.
So they say due to limited water over the last 18 months, Bear Republic has already pulled out of 19 territories just to keep the rest of our wholesale channel supplied. So, I mean, I think it's it's a ripple effect. They're where they're in the center, and they are giving priority to who is close by, and and it's tough. I feel for them, and I feel for them, and I hate that my bottle shop had I don't think it's fair with Bear Republic that my bottle shop had a beer from them that is past date, because the brewery and the brewer worked so hard to get this beer perfected, and then
Yeah, it's never the brewery's fault, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I would say most of the time, right? Because I had some fresh beer on the brewery that okay, that's beside the point.
no, it's never the brewery's fault when the beer on the shelf is old at a store.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So they have on their website, they have here a statement that they put it talking about the drought and how hard it's been, and it's been very hard for them, and some breweries start moving to the East Coast, building breweries over here, so that kind of helped them a little bit.
Oh my God! I found the date for this bottle.
What's the date on it?
Oh my God! I would never have bought this. 5/2/13.
Where did you find it? What?
I don't know if you can see it.
That beer has no hop on it anymore.
Wait, is it on the glass?
Yep, I have my flashlight. I'm gonna have to take a picture of it. Can you see it?
You need to take back at your bottle shop and say,
Yeah. What the hell?
It
You
is
guys should be
okay.
Okay. So, oh my God.
because I'm telling you,
I'm gonna take a picture.
I'm taking this next week to my bottle shop, and they are nice. I mean, at my bottle shop, they do a wonderful job. I don't want to badmouth them. It might be another site, or maybe he got it from the distribution, because I didn't see this beer last month there, and it was there this month.
By the way.
Yeah, I
You
found
did?
mine too.
What does it say?
It's not as important for stout, but mine was February 1st of 2014.
Mine was
God, that's almost 2 years.
Mine is Best Buy 2516.
That's better.
No, this is fresh.
Yeah.
You got a good. Yeah, you got. So you probably. Yeah. So you got it sweet as well. So I guess it's not the age then.
You know.
Yeah.
I can't believe that.
2013. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's completely unacceptable.
2.5
But
years.
I have to mention what a Widmer brewer who came to brew Beer 30 and gave us some samples said is that their bottles are sometimes getting lost in the shuffle in the store, and they just sit there, and then the store puts them out whenever the hell they feel like it.
But damn near 3 years though.
It was not lost. It was like in a black hole somewhere.
Well,
Yeah,
if you have
I
something,
don't think
if you have
there's
something
no
like
excuse. I think for 3 years. I think that's just the bottle shop management. Like,
if you have something like Burr, and you're letting it sit in the back for an entire year, and then you stick it out, we're gonna be pissed off at Widmer.
No, well, no, wait. If you gave me 3-year-old Burr, I'm not gonna be upset.
But I'll tell you what, it's partially our fault.
Yeah, we
all
bought it.
bought their beer and we only notice as we start mentioning, we decide to
Yeah.
check that. We none of us did check. At least I didn't.
Let me ask you a question though, because
I just didn't
what color
see it.
is?
I didn't see it either.
Or is it lasered? What is it?
No, it's raised. These are raised numbers in glass on the bottle.
Mine looks like it's lasered.
Yeah, you see, sometimes that sucks too. That breweries use like that. Like, same thing, like with a darker beer or the dark bottle, it's hard to tell in certain beers. Like dates.
But Linda, isn't Burr a bourbon barrel aged beer?
No, that's the bourbon beer.
Okay.
Burr is a yearly
just their winter.
seasonal winter release, and
Okay.
it starts tasting disgustingly sweet after 6 months later.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm thinking bourbon. If you give me 3-month-old bourbon, first of all, I'm not drinking any with my beer. But secondly, if you give me if you give me bourbon that's 3 years old, I wouldn't be mad.
That's different. That's meant to be.
Yeah,
aged.
I was about to mention that because I remember like back in February, I'm moving the beers on the shelf at the bottle shop, and I found this year-old stout, and I was like, whoo! If the same thing happens with an IPA, you go like,
Hey.
IPA, it's gonna be like, ugh.
This can't be right.
I went to my World of Beer and they had a barley wine that they couldn't move. It was a perennial barley wine, the Vermilion. And I was like, why is no one buying this beer? And I watched it for like a year and a half, and I was like, well, I appreciate you aging this beer for me. I think I'll buy that barley wine now.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
It's a good barley wine too. I don't know why. Whatevs.
I remember 2 years ago I visited Chris Phillips back in Michigan, and he told me, I'll go to this bottle shop. So I drove by. The amount of beer that I found that was like aging in the shelf, I was like, man, this is like just awesome. You can just come here and not have to spend the money early on.
I wonder if that's the same beer. He told me about a bottle shop recently that had 2013 1050 on the shelf still.
I don't know. It just I went to wherever he told me, but yeah, they have a lot of stuff there that it was a year old. Again, it works both way, Yeah, it's so. Everybody on the second beer. I guess we are all off style by now.
Well, I'm off style, yeah.
I'm off style. I know. On my second beer.
So what are you drinking, Randy?
I am currently partaking in the release of Lagunitas Brown Sugar.
Nice.
So good this year.
We considered that today.
Did they list the Vox Populi, Vox Dio?
What?
Vox Populi, Vox Dio, the voice of the people is the voice of God or something like that. I don't know the translation in English, but last year was or last time they released that beer.
Yes.
I think most people, I particularly, because you guys know how I'm about brown sugar, and I was a little miserable. The beer was good.
So 2013 was a beautiful beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 13's the best year, yeah.
And then 14 came and Gil was like, I'm getting a case.
Oh.
And he opened it, and I had it too, and I was like, did they change the recipe? Or did they bottle? It was so extreme. I was like, did they bottle the wrong beer?
They did.
I was like, this is absolutely not brown sugar. Absolutely.
Oh.
It was because when I drink brown sugar, I'm expecting like almost like the name implies, I'm expecting like a sweet,
Caramelized.
caramel.
Kind of
That's
a
what I
molasses
expected.
stone kind of thing.
Yeah.
Last year was an absolute IPA.
Mm-hmm.
I love IPAs, but not when I want brown sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So last year was a fail, and then this year I think they must have heard Gil's and the rest of America's complaints.
Well, I asked the brewery on our show live. I asked the brewer about it.
And what did he say? He said, "Oh, it's probably because you guys got it fresher."
Yeah, that's his answer.
on.
That's why he told me.
I
And I
was
told him, I didn't want to tell him as my case was here for 6 months by now.
When he said it, I was like, "Bruh, come on."
Yeah.
It's like you hear yourself.
What's up, Freddie?
What's going on? I ain't said that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you said Randy just now. But so this year It's not quite. It's definitely not 2013 levels, but it's definitely it's a absolute improvement from the 2014 batch of this beer. Gil, have you had it yet?
No, I haven't not. I need to go get some. And I saw it today at my bottle shop and didn't grab it. Because I became skeptical, so I was hoping to let the people say something before I go back into spending money on a case again.
Well, I'll bring you one tomorrow. I think I got another one
Right.
left. But yeah, this year is definitely much better. I mean, the hop presence is definitely. I'm gonna discount 14 altogether. 14 was a mistake. Compared to 13, the hop presence is a little more. It's a little more. I can't even describe the. It's like a the hops are there. Let's say that, but it's also a really sweet beer, almost like sweet in a good way, almost sticky sweet actually. But
The malt, yeah, there was something wrong with the malt base on the beer last year.
But I want that sticky sweetness in this beer. You know what I mean? I expect that when I drink brown sugar, and I think that's the reason why I fell in love with this beer the first time I had it, because it was like I kind of started out being a little bit of a hop head, and this beer was so different, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and this year kind of gets back to the roots in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's two problems with last year. One is like on the 13, remember? I mean, it was gone from the shelves in no time. It was hard to find brown sugar.
Mhm.
And then this last time when they released it, it was everywhere.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's a combination of they brew a larger batch, plus they maybe tried to brew something at the Chicago brewery already, and something got screwed up. I don't know. Something. He said nothing changed, but we know it did.
Something changed, and I think we kind of pushed back on him a little bit, and he was like, maybe I should call those guys and look at their notes.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, maybe.
He did
maybe
say
you
that.
should.
Maybe you should let it go from the joint and then try the beer again.
So yeah, good beer. Get it if you can.
Cool.
I haven't seen brown sugar here this year. I just see the Lagunitas socks.
We got
Okay.
both the bottle, the 6-pack like Randy had, and a little funny bottle they have. Looks like a
I need Lola and Gil to stop putting an R on that beer. It's brown sugar.
brown sugar. Yeah, we're not from the South. None of us went to
am.
Columbia for school.
Yeah, but you can read.
No, I can't. I can't read.
Read.
Okay, Randy, we're saying it like that because we don't want to offend you, man.
You can't offend me by saying what it is. It is what it is. It's
Brown
brown sugar.
sugar.
AKA
Sugar,
Randy
sugar,
Gardner
sugar.
Jr.
Sugar.
I know. Randy is not the brown sugar. Remember, Randy is the Black
The
Pearl.
Black Pearl.
You guys
That's
are not
good.
from
I
that
like
time.
that.
I think Randy and I and Lola are the only ones from that.
Yep.
The
That
Black
used to
Pearl
be-
time.
You remember when we had our nicknames under our name in our lower
I do
third?
remember that.
None of us had Twitter accounts, so we all had like nicknames. It seems so
Randy
long.
Gardner Jr., the Black Pearl.
I like that.
You're a handsome man, Randy, but even I wouldn't call you that.
It's
He's
a hop.
pearl of
It's a
a
hop.
man.
Well, it was because it was either a beer or a hop.
It's a beer made by R.J. Rockers down in
Yeah.
Spartanburg, South Carolina. It's called Black Pearl.
Somebody
And
else makes one called
it's
Black
like a-
Pearl too.
It's like a dark IPA, or maybe it's a Cascadian Ale or whatever. But it's a dark beer, and they use pearl hops in it.
That makes sense.
And mine was Mad Hatter because I made some word, my accent and everything. When I was drinking New Holland Brewing one day, and I did something, I said something about their beer, and they got on my case for a few weeks, so I just stuck it.
All right. Anyway, I'm drinking out of Ohio, Jackie O's Would Ya Honey. It's a wheat wine ale, bourbon barrel aged. Going with wheat wines.
I love a good wheat wine. That's barley wine's little brother.
Yeah, exactly. it's pretty cool too in the label. You have the bourbon barrel, and it has like a little bee that's made. They made that little their honeycombs inside the bourbon barrel.
Oh, cute.
But this is like, I mean, it's 11%. Gil, I think you like these bottles, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, I find them interesting. They look like you find them a lot of in Europe and South America.
And it's sweet. It's got a really nice for the style, like in being bourbon barrel aged and being such high ABV, it's got a nice body. It feels very like silky. And towards the end though, you can tell where you need to like let the shit like sit on the shelf. Like once the sweetness is gone, the honey, and you get the almost like a barley wine kind of feel to it, sweetness. Mm-hmm. That bourbon comes and just slaps you awake. Like here I am, and like as it just goes down, it's getting hot. You know what I mean? That you can get that bourbon like heat from it.
The bourbon was like, allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm a herb.
I'm looking at my.
Because you get a lot of barrel characteristics.
Yeah. I wonder if is that one of the new strong ale style?
Yeah.
No, wheat wine. Wait, you say it was a new strong ale?
Well, no.
It's a strong ale, a barley wine.
I wonder if because I wonder if that because I know that in BJCP they didn't have it, and I wonder I was trying to remember if that's one of the style they included in or not under strong ale. Because my BJCP list here is kind of
I think a wheat wine. I think it's classified as a strong ale, like a barley wine now.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, like again, you get like a lot of the barrel characteristics in that too, like the first sip, but without the bourbon per se. It's like you get that little, it's like oaky almost.
Is that a more like an orange or a copper color? Can you show the bottle, the glass?
It's actually, it's pretty damn. I mean.
Oh, it's dark. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on. I'll put my light on here so you can see it. I mean, it's definitely dark.
Yeah,
it's almost like a
yeah,
like an iced tea kind of dark. You know what I mean?
Like a
no light coming from that on the other end. It's very murky.
Yeah, and I think you can only call.
You smell like it's malty. You get like bourbon nose to it, but the bourbon's like in taste. The bourbon's not until the back. Like you don't get that. But I bet you this thing at 11%. I bet you this age is gonna taste pretty damn solid.
Okay, because I think what is that? It has to be more than half of the mouthfeel to be wheat wine, right? More than half has to be something like that.
Yeah. Boulevard makes a beautiful one.
It has to be over 50% or something like that.
Boulevard makes one called Harvest Dance. That's a beautiful wheat wine.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it has to be like upward of 50%.
I've noticed how much we use Boulevard as example. That shows how many good beers or how many strong. I would say maybe not the best beer, but how many strong beers they have it.
Well, you know what, Gil? I would kind of, sort of, a little bit, probably, almost, nearly, put them in the same category as Founders, and that Founders. Have y'all ever went to Founders website and look at how many different styles they make? They make a ton of different styles of beer, and they do them all really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean those guys can brew, man. Because it's one thing to be known for IPAs and make good IPAs, or be known for stouts, make good stouts. But they make good IPA, good stout, good barley wine, good Scotch ale, good barrel aged beers. Like they did a whole lot of really good beers.
And you guys still getting the BBQ?
Say what?
BBQ, the bourbon barrel aged quad.
From Founders?
No, from Boulevard.
From Boulevard, I have.
Right there.
I will tomorrow.
Yeah. if Randy, well, we have a deal. Randy can come down here. He can pick anything I have on the shelf, and we're gonna drink it. He can pick and choose. So.
Yeah.
I'll be getting on the road at 7 a.m.
But he mentions so many things we're gonna drink tomorrow.
I know.
If we drink everything he mentions, I don't know. He's not going home the next day.
We're gonna have alcohol poisoning tomorrow.
But I'll tell you what, I love Founders. You guys know it's one of my favorite breweries. But I thought the Ridiculous was a little overkill for me.
It was. Ridiculous didn't do it for me.
The first snifter I had it was awesome. When I was on the second one, it started getting too much. And that coming in a bomber, again, that's my problem with some bombers. Is like, how you drink all that beer?
When you first had Ridiculous, I had mine before you, and when you had it, you were like, I don't understand why you don't like this beer, Randy. It's good.
because I chat to you on the first snifter, right? I was drinking it, and then I chat you back again later on and said, okay.
Yeah, it's a little. I don't know what it was, but there was something about it that was too much.
It's like chewing in a. Have you put a pellet of hop on your mouth, and you go like, why did I do that?
If you haven't lived until you chewed a hot pellet, I want y'all to know that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I know I promised you guys a local beer last week, and I didn't deliver, but I totally came through this time.
Wouldn't be Linda if she wasn't drinking a local beer.
I do consider
she's making some kind of money. I don't know.
It's the abominable winter ale.
Abominable from one of my favorites, Hopwork Urban Brewers.
Hub.
We just call them Hub, and it's organic.
Organic. I like
organic.
That tastes angry organic.
This is fabulous winter ale. This is toasty and hoppy, and it makes me think that I could walk outside right now and there would be snow.
Oh, that would be lovely. Keep dreaming.
Wow, it's cold enough. It's almost 30.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
the high tomorrow is 81 here. It's winter is coming.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough.
Oh, totally. I totally recommend those for anybody who can get Hub ales.
Ready.
Pick this up. It's fabulous.
Well, it's good that is the guys from what's the name of the brewery in Denver? Great Divine are good people because some other breweries would be suing them just for that. Yeah. It seems that the going into that. I've seen less and less breweries suing breweries. Man, breweries suing other breweries because I think the consumers, it's voicing their dislike about that. They were not happy about all those breweries, because you understand when you see a big brewery trying to take on a small guy or something, but breweries that we love getting in each other's case, and I've seen less. I don't know, it's just me. I don't know about you guys, but I remember on Pints and Quarts for about 6 months, every week we have somebody, being nasty to another brewery and trying to protect their brand. I haven't seen that happen much anymore.
You mean like Sierra Nevada Narwhal battle?
I missed that one.
Yeah.
There's a battle over a Brooklyn brewery over Narwhal, and of course the Brooklyn brewery lost out because Sierra Nevada just had too much oomph.
Yeah, it's hard. I admire Sierra Nevada because they are the kind of brewery that helps so many breweries when they need it. So it's hard to get mad at them.
Yeah, they even help Brewdog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I wish they. We're gonna get them on our show eventually. They wanna. There's only maybe 4 or 5 breweries on the top 50 we didn't get there, and we would love to talk to them. We did go to. We had our the CBN Con, the Craft Beer Nation. I don't know if Congress is too much for a dozen of people, but the CBN Con that happened in Richmond. And one of our members, what's his name? Alan Huerta. What's his name? Alan's gonna kill me after. Yeah, Alan is gonna kill me. I better not look
Yeah.
Twitter for now on for a week. But Alan went to their
Brew camp.
their beer camp when the beer camp was meaning something different than it is now. But and brew a beer, we all
Grandma's Closet.
Grandma's Closet, yeah. So we drink it.
IPA aged on cedar.
Yeah, so they do that kind of thing that I think it's cool.
By the way, it wasn't his idea to brew an IPA.
No.
He was overruled. We made him prompt. We were like, look, you go in the beer camp. You have access to everything Sierra Nevada has. Do not brew an IPA.
We voted 100 times, and we pull for you on the community, so you better not do an IPA.
And the group picked an IPA, and he was like, I tried.
I know.
Say hi, Gil.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we have a few minutes. Anybody else want to talk about their beer before we go? I guess not. So next week, if you're watching, all our viewers, our tons of viewers that we had tonight. If you're watching this, join us again next Friday when we are gonna talk about Sam Adams Boston beer. And I think we just say that even if you bring their cider, hard cider, that's okay next week, right? Anything from Boston beers?
You talking about Angry Orchard?
Yeah, Angry Orchard. Yeah. So.
Why not?
Yeah. I know Ricky Potts is bringing.
Or
Twisted Tea.
I think Sam Adams
His
got
Utopia.
Coney Island.
Yeah.
I'll be traveling, so I won't be here next Friday.
Ricky's gonna have Twisted Tea.
I'm considering.
Sounds good.
We were hoping that Ricky would drink his 1 ounce of Utopia on the air.
That's what I was gonna open. I thought it was tonight, and I was gonna go get it and pour it
Well,
into this big old
we'll
glass.
stay on air. We'll stay a few more minutes if you want to do it.
I actually might, depending on what time we leave, I might be home in time. We'll see.
Okay.
I think you should do it now, just in case.
Right now.
I'm just saying, man.
I
You might
think
not
you
be
should
here
just
next week.
swirl the bottle and just drink right off the
Right out of
bottle.
the bottle.
Just go ahead, get that
Chug it.
Sam, man. You probably got like a good 13 ounces left, man. You can spare one tonight. Come on, Ricky.
Pretty sure there's
Ricky,
only 1 ounce
Ricky.
left.
You know that one beer that I have never had, and I'm gonna go in a group of 5 one of those days and just.
It is unbelievably good.
I don't think it's beer. I
No,
think
it's
anything
not.
over. I think anything
brandy
over 16% should have its own category. But yeah, good. Well, so join us again next year. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow in all the social media there. Thanks, Rennie. Thanks, Freddie, Linda, Lola, and Rick. It was awesome to have you guys tonight. Thanks for joining me. And see you guys next week when we will drink some Sam Adams beer. Don't look so down. Be excited. And cheers, everybody.
Cheers.